Okay, so for this deep dive, we've got a really specific mission. We're jumping headfirst into Record of Ragnarok.
Or Shumatsu no Valkyrie.
Yeah, and our goal's pretty simple. First, we're going to lay out how this whole thing works, the setup, the rules, all of it, and then we'll get into what makes it so cool.
Because it's so much more than just, famous people fighting gods.
Exactly. It's almost like a philosophical debate just
Well.
with giant hammers and lightning bolts.
Right.
So let's start with that overview. The whole premise is, well, it's terrifyingly simple. It all starts at this meeting, the Council of Valhalla.
Right. So imagine every god from every pantheon you can think of. Shiva, Zeus, Odin. They all get together every 1,000 years.
And they take a vote.
They vote on whether humanity gets to keep existing. And this time, after 7 million years, the vote is not great for us.
It's unanimous for apocalypse. They decide to just wipe us out.
But, and this is the key, one person objects.
Brunhilde, the eldest of the Valkyries.
And she pulls out this super obscure clause in the divine rulebook called Ragnarok.
Which basically gives humanity one last shot. A trial by combat.
A 13 versus 13 tournament. First side to 7 wins it all. If humanity loses.
We get deleted. But here's the thing that jumped out at me immediately. A human can't fight a god.
Yes.
That's not a fair fight.
It isn't. And Brunhilde knows that. That's where the core mechanic of the series comes in. It's called Völundr.
Divine Weapon Lotus.
Yeah. The Valkyries themselves literally transform into weapons, and each weapon is perfectly tailored to its human user.
But there's a massive catch, right?
A huge one. Their lives are linked. So if the human fighter dies,
The Valkyrie shatters. They die.
the king of the gods. And you'd think Adam would be fighting out of pure hatred, for being kicked out of Eden.
But he's not angry at all.
No. When they ask him why he's fighting, he just says, does a father need a reason to protect his children? It completely reframes the fight.
Then you get round 3. This one seems like a total mismatch. Poseidon, the perfect god of gods.
Who was never lost, never even had to try.
Versus Sasaki Kojiro, history's greatest loser.
Right, and you're thinking, why on earth would you pick a loser to save humanity?
But that's the point. Poseidon's perfection means he never grew. Sasaki, because he lost over and over, he learned from every single defeat.
He becomes stronger through failure. It's a statement that our flaws are actually our strength.
The series also loves to just flip the morality on you. Round 4 is the best example. Jack the Ripper versus Hercules.
Yeah, that one's a trip. You have the absolute worst of humanity, pure evil fighting the god of justice.
And you have to root for the serial killer.
Exactly. And Jack doesn't fight with strength, he fights with cunning. He turns all of 19th century London into a weapon. It's about intellect versus raw power.
We see that again in round 8, which is just incredible. Nikola Tesla versus Beelzebub.
Science versus magic. Or maybe logic versus a curse. Tesla, humanity's only scientist-sorcerer, fights with a high-tech suit of armor.
He literally builds a power grid in the arena.
And it frames human ingenuity as this force that can bring order to divine chaos. It's brilliant.
Even the reinterpretations are full of these ideas. I mean, Buddha defects and fights for humanity.
Just because he hates anyone telling him what to do, they call him the strongest adolescent.
It all comes back to this core idea of humanity's will. Our stubbornness, our pride, our ability to grow from our mistakes, that's what makes us equal to gods.
It's surprisingly deep stuff, for a manga and an anime that's just getting bigger and bigger.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, to wrap this up, we want to leave you with a thought to chew on.
The series picks 13 humans to represent all of our history. Our best, our worst, our smartest.
So the question for you is, if you had to pick one person from all of history, any scientist, warrior, artist, anyone, to fight a god for your survival, who would you choose?
Think carefully.
Thanks for diving in with us.